Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the one and only channel you should be watching. I am Kanye Tones, and I really want to talk about Gyökeres today. Actually, before we talk about that, let's talk about Senegal and Morocco. So this happened.
The final to get
focus on the goal.
underway again. Brahim Diaz to give Morocco the lead.
You done lost your damn mind.
What the hell?
I'm feeling cold, though my body's warm. Don't really know what is going on. I get these thoughts that I've never known. I get these thoughts when I'm all alone. Now I wake up.
If you were watching AFCON yesterday, if you're watching the final, there is no soap opera. I say soap opera? Viktor Gyökeres. He has been getting hope from a lot of fans. People thought, hey, he just needs a little bit of he just needs a little bit more time.
And delivering for Yok.
He'll get better.
To toss it up. Saka on the acrobatic.
He'll adapt to the Premier League.
Gyökeres!
Gyökeres came in with so much hype, so much hope, with a huge transfer value. Correct me if I'm wrong. 3 of his goals are penalties. 3 of his goals are penalties.
Now, although Arsenal are 7 points top of the league, it's clear that things aren't perfect and a lot of things haven't necessarily been as good as they should be. That has led a lot of people to blame Viktor Gyökeres. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about
I'm not specifically just pointing one finger. I was also blaming the whole team. Why? People believe that he wasn't getting the right ball, right? I was like, you know what? That's fair criticism.
Wow, that's fair.
I watch game week after game week, game after game. Viktor Gyökeres is floating around the field and looking like he's more confused than anything.
What?
Well, I won't lie. Right now, people are saying he plays as a dummy, which I do understand in that perspective. He does play as a dummy
Wait, that came out wrong.
because people now will be focusing on him as the biggest threat.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa. That's too damn bad!
And then people will face away focus from Martinelli and Saka, or Trossard and Madueke. Arsenal attacks via the wings. It's possession, attacking wing play. It's possession, wing play, and set piece. That's the word I was looking for, set piece. Now, Viktor Gyökeres is much more fast-paced. He's going to want a wide ball, right? Who's the best person to give him a wide ball? It's Declan Rice. William Saliba. People might wonder how, but he's a centre-back. Actually plays very well in the midfield. I don't know. I've seen that quite a lot, quite often. Viktor needs to either be that striker we wanted, or it's just not happening. Because, it's just been too patient, bro. You cannot have these stats, bro. Like,
the good and the bad of him and finally settle the debate for once and for all if he should be playing any part in this Arsenal squad for the rest of the season.
he had scored a pass by Ben White, if you guys remember this recent goal, right? He tapped it in. Goal! Amazing, right? But here's the thing. It didn't excite me. That's bad. My striker is now scoring, and I don't really care that much. Why?
Let me explain.
Because I'm realizing that even though Jesus is back right now, and he's actually fighting. I think at some point his form will just sprinkle back. But at the same time, even Jesus is not an option right now. The biggest threat that we've had the most was Kai Havertz and Mourinho. And even Kai Havertz, unfortunately, I'm going to have to put him below Mourinho. Mourinho is our best striker and he's not even a striker. He's a midfielder. He's a false 9. Like, how does that even make sense? A person who is not a striker is better than all the strikers.
So let's get into it. Now, this is a video that I necessarily didn't want to make, but I kind of felt like it was important to get my opinion out there and also to talk about all the discussion around Viktor Gyökeres. I know we've made a lot of videos about Gyökeres on this channel, and obviously he is a guy that everyone kind of wants to talk about all the time, which is a big reason for that. But I get that I have definitely teetered on defending him and being critical of him in different moments, which I think I am like with any player who plays for Arsenal. Now, that being said, obviously a lot of the talk around him has been a bit insane over the last couple of days, I think, especially in the last week since the Liverpool game. I think things have gone a bit crazy, and I do think there's some nuance that needs to be spoken about with the argument. I think there's some fair points about him, but I also think there's a lot of stuff that I just don't think matters, and we need to find that level in the middle where we can actually get better. Now, 2 weeks ago, I made a video talking about why Viktor Gyökeres was starting and had to continue starting for Arsenal, and a lot of that video was down to the pressing. In fact,
I want to quickly talk about him starting. I swear, I feel like Gyökeres has to start on the contract. Like, he has to start. Because there is no way Arteta is starting him consistently. And this keeps happening. It makes no sense.
the whole video is basically about that. Now, in that video, I suggested that when Gabriel Jesus comes on, it's not a coincidence that we look a lot more vulnerable in defense. He just isn't that good at pressing. His athleticism is completely gone, which he's even admitted in interviews. And I also just think that people like Martin Odegaard, when we get later on in games, are just not doing a good enough job at managing the block. And that's down to mostly tiredness as well and fatigue, where he has played probably too much since he just came back from injury. Now, there's obviously a lot of nuance to Arsenal. We will talk about that. But Viktor Gyökeres in himself, I do think is a big talking point. A lot of it, I think, comes down to that Chelsea game where Saka goes down the wing.
I had to really emphasize that there was a point in time Viktor Gyökeres, you'll probably mention it, there's a point in time Viktor Gyökeres had three people attacking him, right? But there was nobody attacking him when he received the ball. He was counter-attacking. Excuse me. He was counter-attacking. While he was counter-attacking, he had the chance to sprint fast. I don't think Viktor Gyökeres is fast enough for the Premier League defenders to get away from people like Martinelli. Thrive in such a position. Like the sprint counter-attack, thrive. Viktor Gyökeres is just not that fast.
He should pass it to Viktor Gyökeres in this moment. He doesn't. He cuts back onto his left foot. And then in this moment, you can see Viktor Gyökeres is feasibly a bit annoyed. He kind of walks away. He's got his head up in the air, which they spoke about on Sky Sports. And then in the end, it doesn't even matter because we put the ball into Ben White. Ben White puts it across. And obviously, the goalkeeper makes a massive mistake where Gyökeres then scores a tap-in. Now, I do think that a lot of people have kind of not really understood this situation for what it is. Ultimately, it's an in-game situation. Gyökeres has a right to be annoyed because I do think that pass should have been played, but it doesn't mean that that's necessarily been on all the time for Gyökeres, and also it doesn't also mean that either one of Saka and Gyökeres' fault, and ultimately we scored from the situation anyway, so that singular moment doesn't particularly matter much. Now, this has now started this whole Saka versus Gyökeres debate online. People have basically said, what side are you on? Why should Saka even pass the ball to Gyökeres? Why Gyökeres should even bother making runs if Saka's not going to pass the ball?
This Saka and Gyökeres chat, let's talk about it, because not just Saka and Gyökeres, people, I don't understand how they're leaving out Martinelli, Mourinho, Zubimendi, Gabriel. Bro, how are they not mentioning the whole team? The whole team, my bad. The whole team wants to score. Everybody wants to score in Arsenal. Even Ben White. He wants to go up in front and put a goal in. If Gyökeres does not want he tries to make an effort, then he keeps failing a bunch of times because he's failed a bunch of times. You get what I'm saying? If he's gonna fail, the people like Saka and Martinelli will probably trust him less and be like, I'm not saying this is what he's thinking. I can score goals as well. Let me try and penetrate through defense here. Cool. And then what happens? Majority of the time, Saka would put a corner through. Okay, let's say it was a corner. Then a corner would happen, right? After a corner happens, majority of the time an assist goes in for Gabriel, because Gabriel it's kind of like he's a striker, low key, a shadow striker, if that makes sense. Ooh, shadow striker defense.
And I think all of this argument is genuinely very stupid. Why we pick and size this isn't some play school things, which I think a lot of people kind of turned it into. Now, obviously, I want Arsenal to win, and I would hope a lot of Arsenal fans do, but you'd be surprised what you see on the internet nowadays. And I completely get the frustration around all these players, and I think there's a way to be critical of all of them, but also be praised of all of them as well.
This guy is basically saying what I'm saying. Exactly. Like, you can't just critique one player. All of these players have flaws. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Kanye the Tongs. Make sure to subscribe. Click on that notification bell and let me know what you think about this video. If you want to watch the rest of this video, make sure to click on the link in the description below. And I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.
What?
Oh, now I wake up.